All right, folks, welcome back to PEG Wrestling. We are here. And live, Friday Night Live.
All right.
Full night live. Instant reaction here, folks. We had a lot of upsets. We're going to be talking Penn State. Penn State almost lost to Michigan State. Just kidding.
Thank
55
goodness.
nothing.
We had some duels. Thank goodness.
It was that. It was Ohio State just wrapped up knocking off Illinois. Illinois taking their first loss of the year, 24-9.
Old Tom had boys ready, didn't he?
We're gonna
Tom
talk about that.
Ryan.
That's right. And North Carolina, talking about teams coming around. North Carolina upset Virginia Tech. Maryland beat Michigan. And
Man, upsets galore tonight.
a ton of wrestling, folks.
The whole state table is turning here. Michigan
wrestling
loses to Maryland.
Yeah, that was a shocker. Whoa. That was a shocker, folks. I don't know. Is that the first one you want to break down? Michigan, because there wasn't a lot on the Penn State to talk about. And if you want to talk about that first.
I mean, there's so much to. I mean, the thing is like, there's a lot of work to do at Michigan, huh?
I mean, hey.
Well, they're
or Maryland's coming, dude.
Yeah. Well, probably a combination of both. Probably. Yeah.
I mean, it was Heinzelman over Neville's. They're at heavyweight, but yeah, it was a little surprising.
I mean, my head was spinning. The match ended, and the announcer announced Michigan won.
Yeah, that was confusing.
I know. But,
Michigan prevailed.
I mean, Wolock and T.J. Stewart lose again, and it's just, how I guess it doesn't matter that much right now. They're not going to get a great seed. So they got to be ready to go. I just suspect, I'd love to have an inside look. What the heck is going on? Most likely, I would guess that every one of these wrestlers, their plate is filled. I mean, you're thinking schoolwork to all the practice and everything, and it's like sometimes you think a guy like a T.J. Stewart, or actually we seen Bailey get decked by Romney, and you have to think, does someone get some of their drive left? They got their AA. Maybe their goal way inside was, I want an AA. They went out and got one last year, and now it's like it just doesn't look like the same wrestler. You have to wonder if I'm not saying the hunger can't return. It can return, I know. But right now, it almost looks like, with Bailey, I would be able to game plan against a guy like Bailey. Again, he looked like he just so. First off, he wasn't going to shoot, and he did next to nothing. So he took a stall call by the end of the scoreless first period against Romney. Romney had a good attack one time there in the first period, and Bailey's just too quick. I mean, really, if I'm wrestling Bailey, I'm not upset if it's 0-0 after one. But Bailey had the choice. He went down, and I thought, okay, I'm interested in seeing this. What's going to happen? And, I mean, it just looked like there wasn't hardly any fight, dude. It was no fight. And even when he got put in his back, it was just almost like he just gave up or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little harsh on Bailey. Maybe I should be more pro for Romney in the sense that he obviously is going to be a factor, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. How about also apparently Spencer Moore over Vantreska there at 125 in the North Carolina Virginia Tech duel.
Yeah.
How about McNeil over Hunter Mason? Where was Caleb Henson at, right?
That's a good question, and I don't even want to get started on that because that's just another piece of the puzzle we talked about the last 2 weeks that we don't like.
They're surprising. Yeah, you said the Gavin Kane pin. By the way, did you see the crowd? I saw a highlight of North Carolina. It looks good in North Carolina. Rob Cole's got something going there.
Yeah, he does.
He does. The lights going, the announcers, the whole atmosphere seemed cool.
You talk Cornell Kevin, and he says that actually Gray is still living off of a lot of Cole's work. He's benefited a lot of things that Cole had in place. Oh, I know. It's no doubt the man did an excellent job at Cornell, and he's a great coach. We talked about top five coaches in the, and I said Schwab is one of my, but daggone, I think I got to put Cole in there too.
Rob Cole could be there.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was surprising. Quite a few upsets there.
Of course, we got some bad news. We've learned that Crookham is hurt, top-ranked Crookham, and at first it was out there. Some of the places put out there, well, he broke his elbow, and he's done for the year. But one of our connections, in fact,
we got verification on BEG Wrestling Facebook chat.
Well, one of our connections, which I'm going to call here in a little bit, Terry. You guys haven't heard from Terry. By the way, I'm giving Terry a new name starting tonight. Hawkeye Terry. We're going to give Hawkeye Terry a call, find out what's going on at Iowa. But he's the one that he learned that Lehigh said no. He's not done for the year. He is hurt. It's not broke, but he fully plans on being back, and he fully plans on still winning this. So, all I know, Zach, is we've seen them pictures of Crookham's knee where you can send any direction you want. It's like it's a rubber knee. Maybe he thought his elbows were rubber,
too. I was
too.
gonna say, apparently his arms aren't as flexible.
Yeah, I know. So, no, we hope he heals up, no doubt. It was great to see. We have these NWCA national duels going on too. Now, not to complain, but we hardly even knew. Like, you got to know what's going on. You can miss it. It's like wrestling has to do a better job of promoting things. Did you know it was going on?
No, Kevin didn't even know. In fact, but we did find the page on WrestleStat that lists all the dual meets, right, coming up and where they can be streamed.
And we pinned it to the top of our Facebook page. So this is big, folks, because I was complaining to you and Kevin. We need a schedule where every dual meet is up, because right now, if you go to Flow's schedule, yeah, they got the dual meets that they're gonna stream, but they don't have them all. Well, WrestleStat does have them. Thank you, WrestleStat. Them guys, apparently, they're just awesome over there at WrestleStat. That page we pinned at the top of our Facebook page. Feel free to come join us in Facebook. That is I'll be using that pinned post a lot because it's got every duel, and you can click it and find out all the details of the duel, where is it shown and stuff. And, I mean, things are hard enough for us wrestling fans. We got to pay for how many different streaming things to see all the action we want to see. And now we have a place where we can look things over. Heck, we can click on it, and WrestleStat shows us the potential lineups. So everything we wanted, we have. And it's pinned at the top of our Facebook.
Including these summaries that you're looking at up on the screen. I pulled them straight from that page. You click on the matches, pretty much as soon as they're done, you can click on and see the results. So,
dude, that is...
Shout out WrestleStat.
Yes, that is so nice, so awesome. But at these national duels, it's down in northern Iowa versus northern Colorado in one semi, and Little Rock versus South Dakota State in the other semi. They got some solid teams there, but just a couple of the matches that happened and that I'd like to. It's nice to see Alirez back. Now, he took a forfeit the first match. He did, I think, he won by pin his second match. It's just good to see him back. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But the real kind of head scratcher is AJ Ferrari. Okay, he won by tech his first match. Then his second match, he went up against Amir. Now, Amir is like, I don't know, 4-6 or something on the year, 4-8. Okay, we're not talking about a ranked guy. And here's my guess, Zach. Tell me if I'm wrong. I suspect he has trouble keeping that weight. And he
looks big. He looks real big.
If you're sucking weight.
But he won.
he won. He won it 10-4. It was 6-4 with 3 seconds left. And quite frankly, I think it was tied in the third period. And the kid ducked and took down AJ right out of the gates. And I'm going to be honest, that's an indicator out there for every other wrestler. Now, of course, AJ could use it and say, no, that's not going to happen again. I'm going to tighten up my defenses. But the fact is, this kid who doesn't have a winning record ducked him and did it and took him down quite easily. And, I mean, that's one of them things that other wrestlers are going to be looking at and marking down. And you know what? AJ's very strong hips, very strong legs. I shoot in there. I'm going to be battling muscle. You know what? He's gullible for this duck. I can set this duck up. I can duck AJ.
No, I'm sure he's going to adjust after that. He's a little heavy on his hands today. He probably didn't expect a tough match out there, honestly.
Well, and this is the variable with college wrestling that you think every wrestler's got to look the same each time they're out there. Quite frankly, AJ looked a little slow to me today. But I know one thing, if he's sucking a lot of weight and he's feeling weak, you're not going to be real explosive. So it's one of them things where we'll see as the year goes. Will I take him on my draft and we do our fantasy wrestling?
Are you saying he's dropping in your rankings?
He should drop in the rankings. You look like that, or a closer match. That match was still very much in the air midway through the third period, and against a non-winning wrestler, that might drop you a little bit. Not that that's a big deal, but it's one of them things where we may be talking in March after AJ won it all and said, "You remember when you guys were back there?"
Speaking about that, speaking of Ferraris, earlier tonight we interviewed Angelo. So
that was cool.
Out tomorrow, folks. Another round 2 with Angelo Ferrari.
Dude, that was very cool, and it was.
We loosened it up a little bit.
It was. Actually, I was a little critical of the first one because that was my very second interview ever that I did with you. So I felt tight. I didn't feel tight tonight. It was just a lot of fun. It was like just sitting down, having fun wrestling. We tried to get some stuff out of him, didn't we?
Tell you what, folks, there's one thing that's going to blow your mind that he says at the end of the interview about his recruiting process.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
But
we got, you know what, he did open up and really, he kind of, we talk about the family and everything, but anyway.
Coming out soon. What else you got? Is there anything you actually want to talk about from Penn State match, or you want to wrap up NWCA?
I do want to mention a couple things. First off, I want to mention, because I know Kevin's at home, he's hugging this result. Cardenas had another tech, and, I am rooting for Cardenas for Kevin's sake. But, I think Kevin's in for a heartbreak here with Buchanan. Do you think Cardenas has anything for Buchanan? He's every time Cardenas has a match, he has another tech. Me and you, hey! Did you see? Cardenas had another tech. Did you see it? Well, look, I'm rooting, Kevin. I'm with you, dude. I'm rooting for Cardenas. I really am. But I don't know. I don't know. Didn't Buchanan own him like last year? But anyway.
And plus, Buchanan still looks tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long shot.
Yeah. But, the thing with Crookham is, again, this is almost like O'Toole. Okay? We're taking into this equation lost time. And Lehigh may be saying, no, he's not done. He'll be back. He still plans to win the championship. But lost time is lost time.
Same with Teamer. Yeah.
Same with Teamer. Although we're going to find out. Remind me. We'll ask Terry when I call about this Teamer.
Yeah, rumors are Teamer's coming back.
Anyway, I want to just congratulate Maryland. I really do. And we both like Bourmet. I got to tell you, though, Maryland, in the end, I don't think anyone knew for certain what the criteria, where it stood. The announcers obviously didn't know because they said that if
yeah, at the end of the match, the announcer said that Michigan, they had to score tied, right? And then
they said if Neville's from Maryland lost, Maryland would lose.
Yes.
They had it, but obviously no biggie. They had that wrong, no biggie. But Seth Neville's had to know that too. I got a hunch Maryland's side wasn't certain either. So Seth Neville's is in place. All he needs is a takedown to win this and assure Maryland's going to win. Mm-hmm. And how many years has it been since Maryland beat Michigan? All I know is probably a long time. But I was a little disappointed there. You know, Seth Neville's was a former Nittany Lion.
I know.
Not until with 4 seconds left did we finally see a shot attempt. And quite frankly, that it was a sloppy. Dude. That's why I like
maybe he knew
Cole Marasola. Cole Marasola is not afraid to shoot.
Now you're hopping on the Marasola train, huh?
Yes, because you don't see these heavyweights shoot. It's like, what do you think? The whole house is going to come down on you if you shoot? Remember, most of the times, heavyweights aren't that it's like a big house. You tip it over a little bit, and it goes falling over.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that was kind of the advantage Kassar always had against Gable.
Yes.
He was the only guy who maybe had a little bit of a speed advantage.
Yeah, that's true. But I congratulate Maryland big time there. We had the big Ohio State, Illinois, and, you know, I've been talking big about the job Poeta is doing at Illinois. And no doubt Illinois is coming, and they are a factor. However, tonight, Zach, there were several things that left me scratching my head. And Can I mention a couple of them?
Yes.
First off, Scholes was undefeated? What? Really?
So he didn't look like he was undefeated.
What? He was undefeated? Because he fooled me. But no, I got to give this Burden guy. Maybe he's getting the red shirt. Now, that goes back to Sammy Sasso for Ohio State. They sent Sammy Sasso to F&M, and they have Burden. Now, in a way, that kind of makes all of us a little sad because we all are on this train of this whole comeback story with Sasso. The man almost died, okay? Yep. And he's back. We never thought we'd see him wrestling again. Not only is he wrestling, you know, he's had some success, and he's looked fairly decent. But tonight what we know is Tom Ryan had to have his best lineup. And he sent Sasso to F&M. By the way, Sasso was losing 20-9 before he got pinned by
Jackson Arrington, right?
Yep.
Bang.
Yep. And so he took second at F&M, but it's going to be a battle. And this story's not over, and the dream finish that we're kind of all hoping for could still happen. But right now, all I know is this Burden kid from Ohio State, the boy knows how to move on his feet because he owns Scholes on his feet. Now, on the mat, Scholes, you know who Burden reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of Bailey. Like, just stay off the mat, dude. Just stay on your feet, and we're going to do well. Get off of that mat somehow because he did look like a youngster there.
Yeah.
But boy, I got to give it to him as far as his daggone takedowns. He took down Scholes over and over and over. But
impressive win for Ohio State and Tom Ryan.
Yeah, no.
Illinois, a good squad.
No doubt. I was shocked to see D'Amelio over Webster. Keenan Webster. Another one of them guys that we got a lot of big talk about, and he is tough, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't tough enough to beat D'Amelio tonight, and this definitely wasn't Illinois' best performance.
Patty Gallagher lost though, right?
Yes, Kreiser beat Gallagher, and Kreiser is barely ranked. He's way down there, and he looked like the top 10 ranked guy. And there's a case of just, I don't know, wanting it more? I don't know. How does a guy come out and look so much better than he did previous matches, except for his head is right? Am I right? Am I wrong? His head was right. And maybe
Confidence, man. We've talked about how substantial confidence is.
Yeah.
Especially at a young age like that.
Yeah. Harchula looked good. I'll give him credit. And it was nice to see Edmund Ruth back getting a win over Rogotsky.
Yeah,
And,
solid win there.
That's the guy that, he's kind of one of our local guys. He's from the Harrisburg area. And you know what? Another guy, I was wondering, scratching my head. He got the AA last year. What, are we satisfied now? Where'd Edmund Ruth go? Well, that was a big win, and I was happy to see it. And I thought it was good to see Feldman back. He kind of took charge with Luffman. His Feldman looked good. So that's
Could he be a threat?
yeah.
Well, he's next year.
All I
He's got
know
next,
is Ohio
right?
State's pretty good, and they're going to get better as this year goes on. It'll be interesting seeing them up against Iowa. They got some
certainly.
other. Now, just a couple about Penn State,
Yeah,
if you
go
don't
ahead.
mind.
Go.
Okay,
If I don't mind. What?
Little Adol is getting. I guess that's why we're doing this. Little Adol is looking like he's getting comfortable, and that's bad news for a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Now, okay, how much can you gauge off of a very young, inexperienced Michigan State team? Don't settle down there, Wayne. You guys beat Michigan State tonight, okay? I'm going off of the eye test of what I'm seeing. Little Adol looks like he's getting comfortable. And
You know who I was impressed with? I think I might have made him mad. Braden Davis.
boom.
Braden
Boom.
Davis.
How sweet was that to see him right out of the gates explode, shoot, boom, go right to work. And forget what I said. I think we said before, he's Penn State's. That's the one weight where they might have a little bit of a half of the hole. I don't know about that.
They all kind of look like they're all kind of imitating Messenbrink's style.
You know,
Lightning Luke,
dude,
Braden Davis now.
Here's what
They look like little Messenbrink.
I can't believe you said that, because to me, it's like, I think if you went and asked Bo Bassett who you gauging or who you shooting to be like, I think the answer would have to be Messenbrink. And I think this whole style of just wide open on the gas, maybe making some mistakes even. Messenbrink makes mistakes, but he's just resilient. It's got to be annoying to wrestle him. Well, Bassett and Messenbrink remind me of each other. The way they just keep coming.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Keep coming. And I think we're going to see that being a style of wrestling. Who knows? Maybe this may end up
Changing the sport.
USA's style of wrestling.
No, I would love that.
Because yes, I love it too, because there ain't no stalling going on. But
Also, shout out to Bo Bassett and the Bishop McCourt and Flo's Wrestling Night in America last night, right?
Yep.
You know who was in the house? David Taylor. David Taylor in the house.
I already said, I made a post on our Facebook page about you want a dream come true is, they talked about the Ross and Bo and Jax all wanting to stay together and go to the same team. Well, one of them teams on Bo's list still is Pitt Johnstown. Let's bring Pitt Johnstown back to D1. And some people replied to me and said, you're getting goofy in the head. Let me tell you, if them three wrestlers went there, so would a whole bunch of very good coaches, so would a bunch of money, and so would a bunch of other quality wrestlers. Pitt Johnstown, Bo Bassett has the actual ability at his fingertips to turn Pitt Johnstown into one of the contenders.
Well, especially what if his dad would follow him there as a coach?
Yep.
Then bring all.
Yeah, you
the
can't
whole
make
club.
the argument, well, the coaching ain't as good over there. Or even the amount of money that would end up there because of the attention that would flood Pitt Johnstown. Now, is that going to happen? No, but that's just a little dream I wanted to share for a second. I'm done dreaming.
That would be cool, though, man.
Oh, that would
Have
be
because
because
just a new.
yeah, because and the one thing I say it's got a little bit of a chance. I think Bo genuinely wants to help the betterment of the sport. Like, obviously, he wants paid. He's put all this work in, all that stuff. But I think that is a big thing to both his dad and him and his whole family is what's going to help this sport. And, bringing another big dog to join the 6 or 7 big dogs we have now is just, that'd be awesome.
That would add an interesting element.
Yeah. But anyway, I got to say, Bartlett, I just jotted down. I don't know if he's got too much respect or something. Once he goes, his speed is unbelievable, and it's like, what do you
see the backflips he does all the time?
What are you waiting for so long? And you put yourself in. You've gotten used to allowing this match to be closer than what it should be. You have the skills. Go. That's all. Just go. Van Ness, I can't. All I'm going to say is Henson, love it. I got bad news for you guys. I can't believe I just said it like that, but I'm serious. I don't know.
Well, Henson, so before today, it looked clear cut. After today, Henson's ducking. Van Nessen comes out and looks like a fireworks show.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And all of a sudden, everyone's thinking twice now.
Dude, we only
top
got
of those rankings.
Daggone, if we only have like a week to go to see Lovett Van Ness. Oh. Anyway, Kazak, Dr. Assassin, I'm going to start calling him. Oh, he looks, I cannot believe how good that kid looks, and he's looking better. And that whole daggone team, Zach.
I watched.
I do that.
I don't care. But anyway, I was watching Penn State highlights on Twitter. If they had to name names after themselves or whatever, if they had a name, and like Levi came up, Levi with a pin tonight. I forget. He said, "I love pinning," but I actually figured out the name, the move to name after Levi. It's the Haynes Hip Soup. Because when people shoot in on Levi, dude, he gives them straight hips.
Hips, anyone? Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yes, but in reverse, the other second part of that
is he finishes.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone that they get this much connected on your leg. He's finishing.
Which we found out tonight, him and Angelo were like 1-2 ranked back in, I guess, high school or something, but they never actually wrestled.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. And now Levi's getting bigger.
Dude, I got to tell you, that was a fun interview with Angelo.
It was.
I
told Angelo tonight in the interview, hopefully, I think it'll come out tomorrow if I have time to finish editing, but I want him to be the Aaron Rodgers to the Pat McAfee show. I want him to be Aaron Rodgers to us, like that. Let's have him call in every week.
Dude, we're talking about what may very well be the most dominant wrestler in the years to come. And, I don't know who you want to give that title to, Starace or something. And I don't know if you can't give it to just Starace because you had the Brookses of the world out there, and there's others. But daggone, it's going to be like, and we guess of the people coming up, whether it's the Bass that takes over for the 3-4 year. I will give one little, what do you call it when you give a little?
I don't know what you're trying to say. I can't think of it either. Teaser.
A little teaser is we actually brought up the thing about this whole thing that's in the works of possibly having 5 years for each wrestler. Angelo liked it a lot, and I think all of us like it because you brought it up. These stars are here for such a temporary time, and some of you are laughing right now after that whole COVID we went through. We had some guys seem like they were around for 10, 12 years, but seriously.
Well, you've been the one at the forefront complaining about that.
I know.
Now you're changing gears.
I know, you made me think Zach's on to something.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
You're
now.
on to something.
Yeah.
Is if the who'd you say? The media either has to be the star
Or the coaches.
the coaches have to be the star because the wrestlers are here and then gone. Now
Yeah,
we
just
always
like in
have
football.
new stars coming, but it elevates the people of the media and it elevates the coaches. Absolutely agree with that. People, I highly encourage you to check out the Angelo interview.
Should be coming out this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Speaking of that evolving landscape, Penn State not happy about their football team after last night, right? But Ohio State in a tie game right now to go to the national championship with Texas, folks.
Yes, yeah.
And Penn State, yeah. Do you think Cale walks past James Franklin and just kind of chuckles under his breath?
No.
Do you think he does? I think he probably does.
Well,
He probably looks at James Franklin and be like, dude, I'm going to take you down and throw you around.
now that you brought it up, I am not in position to make a comment about football because I don't follow it like I used to. I do know this. Tell me if I'm way off base here. That quarterback for Penn State was not accurate all night.
He had a rough
And
game.
the announcers just got done saying, "Oh, you can trust him because look at this many interceptions, only nine interceptions. He had all these touchdowns. I think the coaches trust him." Not from everything I seen earlier that night. Yes, he was hitting the little dink passes, but any passes of any distance, he was sailing it over their heads. He was
underthrown picks.
He was a
yeah.
little worked up. His accuracy wasn't there, so I was nerved up. I was not surprised that's how it ended.
I'm sure Cale was probably proud of that, right?
Well,
Let's go Ohio State. Let's go Buckeyes. Win tonight. But
Yeah.
anyway,
anyway.
any other upsets? And we got big wrestling tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got big wrestling.
Well, we got some big questions here. I'm going to make a call right now and get our man.
New nickname, Hawkeye Terry.
Yeah, I'm going to
Iowa Insider.
Yes.
Let's get some inside Iowa news. It's been a couple weeks since we've heard from Terry.
I know.
And
I know.
I'm sure he has things that he can't wait to update us on. The Iowa drama in that room. I couldn't get anything out of Angelo in the interview today.
Hey, Terry. So you've been anointed a new name, and it's who we're going to refer. We're going to refer to you as Hawkeye Terry from this point forward.
Okay.
All right. How is Hawkeye Terry? It's been a while.
I've been doing pretty good. Let me stop the video here. I left the phone downstairs. I had to run downstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Terry.
He's out there. Mind you, folks, tomorrow we got Nebraska and Minnesota.
Yes.
Also northern Iowa and northern Colorado.
And then Sunday.
Also tomorrow, South Dakota State and Little Rock. But
Wow. Okay.
okay, and then
But the biggie, no doubt, is Minnesota, Nebraska tomorrow.
Right.
And then the next biggie,
Oklahoma State, NC State
Sunday.
Sunday.
But, of course,
Ohio State, Rutgers Sunday. Cornell, Lehigh,
which
Sunday.
leads us into another duel that's coming up Sunday, is Iowa against Wisconsin.
Correct.
Terry, right out of the gates, I got to ask you, how many losses will Iowa take here?
You know, I haven't looked at the matchups. I should have had those called up. Do you have those in front of you at all?
Yeah, well, I can already answer it. You're going to have.
I think it's going to be one, right?
Yeah, that Rivera. Me and Zach called his match down there. That Rivera down at 125. I don't care if it's Peterson. I don't care who they're throwing out. That dude is for real. And we watched him tech Moulton from Campbell like 17-0. That dude's for real.
Yeah.
You know, I watched him when you called that match, and just like Meza impressed me at Iowa State. Now, he's since had some losses at the Soldier Salute, but I was also impressed with that Rivera. Yeah, that was the one I think I had picked.
Yeah, now Fugit has Ayala, So I think he'll maybe keep it close for a little bit. I'd be shocked if he beat Ayala.
Yeah.
Terry, did you get a little? Nobody gets excited when somebody gets hurt. I understand that. But Crookham, we got the news, and you were the one that helped us get the correct news that it's not all year. I'll let you. Do you have anything on that? What's going on with Crookham?
You know, I didn't even see the bad news until I saw the correct news from Kozat, from Flo. So I saw it all at once. So I knew it wasn't accurate, and I saw you guys were already talking about it. So, yeah, I corrected the record on that. Yeah, that did cross my mind. I thought, 133 is getting a little easier for Drake here.
Yes.
And you look, you never know. It's the same thing with Teamer. Look, to think Teamer's going to be as good in tourney as he would have been had he not gotten hurt is probably not realistic. Just for rankings and also just, being at tip-top form, so. Because you just don't sit out for a long time and be in wrestling shape. You saw that with Kennedy last year with the knee.
Yeah, that's true.
He had gas tank issues against Iowa State, and he never has gas tank issues.
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right. Now, if you were asking me right now, I would say Iowa's looking like they could get 2 champs, because to me, we seen AJ Ferrari struggle today, but I think it was a case of what you're talking about right here. It's been a while since he wrestled, and we suspect he's probably.
What are the updates on Teamer?
Well, let me get the Teamer, but I would say Buchanan, and at this point, because of the missed time, and it will affect Crookham. There's no doubt that will affect Crookham. Now, there's some others like Davis. We'll find out. There's some other 33-pounders that could mess us up. But if you were asking me right now, I would say Ayala probably is my favorite to win 33.
It's all about finishes against Crookham. Teskey wrestled him last year in the tourney, and he got in on him on several good shots. And Crookham is extremely flexible. He likes surfing them, those boundary areas, and he uses that to his advantage. So it's all about quick finishes against Crookham. I think he's beatable.
Yeah,
but he's not easy to score on.
And like I said, if I was gauging what I seen today from AJ, no, he doesn't have what it takes to beat Buchanan. But that's right now. And we got a ways to go, and things could change till then. But I guess that brings us to Teamer. Do you know anything with what's going on?
Well, he put the post out that he's going to be back in a couple weeks. I keep hearing more February is probably likely. Just from my experience of watching the NFL, when I did watch the NFL, there's 2 or 3 injuries you really have to be careful with. One's a hamstring, one's a calf injury, and one's a high ankle sprain. Any of those 3 injuries, if you come back too quick, you think you're good until you're not good. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're back at ground zero again. So, in my opinion, it's better to be a couple extra weeks versus coming back when you feel like you're ready.
Yeah.
So, but, he hasn't had too many matches because he sat out Oregon State, probably because of weight issues. And, he hasn't missed that many appearances, but one was a double duel with Princeton and Army, and then the other one was a Soldier Salute. He probably would have racked up another 6 matches on those 2 events. So, he's only 2-1 right now. It's tough to get a good seed at 2-1.
Who are we going to see Sunday? Is Block hurt? Are we going to see Schriever?
Well, it's listed as Schriever or Jace Rhodes, and both of them showed some good things in the Soldier Salute. Jace Rhodes had several clutch last-second wins, and he kind of impressed me. He's a bump up from 1 to 33 also. He was not a really high acclaimed recruit, but he did win a state title or two at Mason City. And he's listed with Schriever. And Schriever, again, showed some promise, wrestled Coteran into sudden victory, and he lost. But then he showed problems on bottom, which I've seen consistently with him. Yeah, a rider block apparently is hurt, so he's definitely not going. And Estrada's going at 157 for Teamer.
Wow.
He's going to be pretty small there because
Yeah.
he just flat looks small frame-wise. Now, he's pretty yoked, but he looks small frame-wise at 149 against a lot of guys. So he's going to look really small at 157. But I do like his upside. I think he has starter potential down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember, he was originally a Wisconsin recruit.
Yeah.
He committed to Wisconsin, and then he just changed his mind. And I don't think he was flipped or anything. I just think he changed his mind.
Oh, wow.
He'll be going up against Luke Meckler. Yeah.
What's that?
He'll be going up against Luke Meckler.
Luke
157.
Meckler. I mean,
I remember Meckler from last year.
yeah, this will be good for him, both him and say it's Schriever. Although you're saying Rhodes also possibly.
Well, it could be they got them both listed. I'm not sure. I'm guessing Schriever because he's the older guy. Will get the look. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
But then the interesting or in the lineup is 184 because they have Gabe or Angelo listed. So I know you just interviewed Angelo, so I'm curious on what you have to say his answer was.
Well, I'll give one more teaser. We did find out whether he was attached or unattached at the Soldier Salute.
Oh, I know he was attached because he was in an Iowa uniform.
Yeah, he was attached. So
We did ask him
I
the
just
question,
don't know
but
why he
we
went
didn't get an
attached
answer to
because
that.
there's nothing to gain by that.
Better question though, what about what's going on with Nelson Brands, Kennedy? What's going on in that battle in the room, Terry? Like, is Kennedy the guy now?
I think Brands is banged up.
Okay.
And so I think it's kind of moot point at this point. I think Kennedy's rolling, and I think Nelson Brands is banged up. And, just like I said, the loss for Drake Ayala to Knox isn't going to look so bad in March. I think Nelson Brands' loss to that Walters kid from Stanford isn't going to be looking too bad either because that kid's a real threat at 174.
that's true. Yeah.
So, but I think right now I think it's kind of a moot point because I think Nelson's just not healthy and they're rolling Kennedy. So,
Well,
which is
and
fine.
yeah, we tried to pry there a little bit. And part of me wants to say that Tom knows, and of course, all of us suspect fully that Angelo's going to red shirt. But Tom's just playing with us, almost like a cat would a mouse, and we're all mumbling.
I just can't figure out the Soldier Salute attached angle though, because if he goes unattached, he has 3 appearances left, and now he's down to just 2 appearances left. You could have went Penn State, Oklahoma State, Minnesota, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, it really is, and it's also, I mean, you got to think he's chomping at the bit. He would so love to. I mean, you got a guy like Angelo Ferrari. You want him to wrestle. But the good news for Iowa is you guys may have him for 5 years instead of 4. But
Terry, who do you pick right now? Drake Ayala or Braden Davis? I don't know if you had a chance to watch him today.
I've watched, I think, one match of Davis this year, but they were really close last year.
yeah,
Look, that could come down. Clearly Drake had trouble figuring him out because he was on that one knee business. He got the early slide by, which he's wicked on, and then he was on that one knee. And whenever you see Drake on that one knee, it's not a good sign. It means he's having trouble figuring the guy out, and so he had trouble with Davis last year.
Yeah.
Would I be crazy to say that's potentially a national championship match up there with the Crookham injury? I don't know.
Well, I'd still throw Crookham in the mix. I see Nasir Bailey got pinned
Yep.
here again.
Well, the
So,
thing is Romney at some point enters this discussion
exactly.
because
exactly.
he looked good.
Him and the thing about Bailey, he just won that tournament, right? And I saw him make a post on Instagram that said, "If you think you saw something so far, you ain't seen turd emoji yet." Yikes!
Ooh.
You might have wanted to wait a couple days before posting that, because
Wow.
all right. Hey, long
I think
season.
Knox is going to have something to say about 133 also. I mean, let's not forget him.
That's absolutely right. In fact, he's the only one that has a win over both Ayala and Romney. So, and a lot of people just poo-poo that. No, he's not ready yet. I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's almost like Davis. I was thinking Davis is 7th, 8th, something in there. And I know we didn't have a super tough competition. I see the kid heading in the right direction. You know, Terry, when you watch a match, it's not necessarily the score, it's how they're doing things sometimes. It's the eye test. And
Absolutely. That was my point about Keeter, the last time we talked. I don't have a problem with Keeter losing to Bastida. I mean, that's not, an embarrassing loss. It was the effort. It's what I'm seeing there. So, yeah, absolutely. It's all about what you're seeing.
yeah. And, that's one of them things where I'm with you with Keeter. Now, I don't want to be too harsh. I mean, but the previous episode, I said it's almost like he's just not as swift of foot as you would want to. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a bad analysis. But
Actually, I totally agree with that. I'm telling you, for a guy that's supposed to be this explosive athlete, I'm not seeing explosion. I'm not seeing this really good foot speed, which, that's got to be his advantage because he's undersized. He's got to use that. Here's what I make an analogy with him. I'm a big boxing fan, big fight fan. And when you see a big puncher that doesn't want to do the work to break guys down in a fight, they just want to land the big shot.
Yep.
So they fight kind of lazy.
Yep.
That's what Keeter does. Keeter wants to lay around for the cradle. That's what he likes to do. He just wants to lay around and let people run into a cradle and flip them over. He doesn't want to do the work of putting takedowns on people and getting turns and I'm telling you, I'm not that impressed at this point. And I'd like to be wrong on that. I'm not trying to trash a guy. I'd love to be wrong on this, but.
well, he's obviously young because we can remember the one time he did lock up a cradle on Bastida, and it could have been the winning cradle. And
Yeah, you got to let that fly.
yeah, you got. I was a little perplexed there. Why it really either Bastida was very, very strong in that position that Keeter couldn't even move him. I don't know, but I thought for certain that I thought Bastida's going down, and it just didn't
You got to
happen.
pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got to read a comment here. Baby Brand says, Penn State wrestlers are 96-2, with the 2 losses coming to 1 Crookham and number 1 O'Toole.
Yeah.
96-2.
And both of them are hurt. No,
I mean,
that's not nothing.
That's
nothing to laugh about.
insane. I
know.
gotta say, after watching them today, I gotta say this is gonna
Terry,
be the best team
you
ever.
probably
It's gonna
want
be
to
the greatest
say
team
this.
ever.
You want to say it, Terry. Go ahead. No, what's insane is their strength of schedule. Oh, that's coming from a Penn State guy. Well, no
saying
wonder
it,
they're
Lee.
96-2.
Well, yeah.
They're wrestling
I
Sister
thought
Mary's.
you said there. I saw the Michigan State score there.
Yeah. I know, dude.
No, I'm all for big dogs. Let's wrestle big dogs. That's get it on. But it's coming. It's coming. I've just been a little impatient.
What's crazy in today's wrestling is I watch old duels from Iowa Public Television, and back in the Gable A days, Iowa had a couple holes in the lineup, and you could afford to bring up a kid, and just like Iowa's got 125 and 141, and I would even make the case 285, but that's another story. They got a couple holes, but they got a really good team in every respect. That ain't good enough anymore. Penn State used to have a couple holes. They had a problem at 125 for several years, and maybe one other hole occasionally. Man, they're just stocked top to bottom, deep, 2-3 deep in most weight classes. And this is why Iowa has to play the game they're playing with the portal. You can't afford to let a Cale Peterson and a Ryder Block develop. And look, those kids have promise. They haven't shown it yet, but they have some promise just based on their high school credentials. But you just can't let a kid develop anymore. You got to bring in a big gun.
Yeah. And, Askren calls it the Penn State the greatest team ever. But I think we can start to get used to seeing these type of teams because it's different now. We have a professional sport on our hands now. And, I mean, if the money's right, you could piece together. Now, it's not automatic. I've said before that just because you brought a national runner-up over, he still has to get comfortable with his settings. And you're not guaranteed to get at least a runner-up spot again because there's so much going on. And we're still talking about young people. I mean, and heck, I think of how confused I get as a 60-year-old.
I do think Iowa does a good job that first year with the transfers. They seem to add something to the game. Now, usually the following year there's a drop-off for whatever reason, but you saw it with Real Woods. You saw, Ironman was very good at Missouri also, but I think you're seeing it with Parco. I mean, you're seeing that cross-wrist tilt that I never saw in his game before, and he's doing it quite a bit. And Buchanan, I think, looked better than he has in the past. Not that he wasn't very good in the past. I think he's just looked a little bit better. So, but
if you assign one move to a team, that crossed wrist tilt that's got Iowa written all over it.
Yeah, it's Spencer Lee. That's my favorite move in wrestling. I love that move.
What we're giving Penn State now, don't we? That's obviously the bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow, and also for the negative, the leg in parallel ride.
Hey! Shots fired. From Hawkeye Terry. There we go.
Hey, you're talking to Mr. Complainer number one when it comes to stalling. But
I think me and Kevin were talking about that, and I think the biggest problem is stalling on top, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's if you're parallel, if you're not working for a turn, and I know sometimes the bottom guy is stalling. It is true, but
a lot of times they can't do anything. I saw a couple matches in the Soldier Salute. A guy had a leg-in ride, and all he's doing is switching his hands. He's just moving. He's not trying to do anything with his hands.
Yeah.
He's just faking moving them around like, I'm going to go for a wrist, and he just keeps flipping them around, and I go, come on. It's so obvious what's going on here. So.
Do you have anything else for us, Terry?
What's that?
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, actually, I want info on what Angelo said about.
You got to wait, Terry. You got to wait for the interview to come
Terry.
out.
Terry, I got to tell you, I'm not over just trying to sell this. It's a good interview. It really is a good interview. And I was the one that came out and said, you know what, it wasn't wild about the first one. Just tight and we didn't want to ask him the wrong questions and get him mad at us. And all that was gone. And it turned out it was fun. It was
way different talking to someone for a second time.
Yeah, it really was.
He likes you guys. He likes he likes the whole show on the the feel of the show, just like I do.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was it's an honor talking to a kid that's got that much work in, and Kevin put up a link to it was an interview with the dad, and
yeah.
I've
seen a couple of those, and I was just gonna say you need to get him.
Oh yeah,
I think we have a chance.
Well, I think we have a chance too, but I tell you, most people are way off on, your first reaction to someone, after getting to know them a little bit.
100%. I like the father. I've watched 2 or 3 interviews, long ones with him, and he just strikes me as a man's man who's really involved with his family and leads the family, and I was impressed with him. I liked him, based on the interviews.
Terry, I hope I'm going to get risky here. I'm going to ask you something, and maybe look at this, Zach. Ohio State's going.
Picked it all.
Oh my goodness.
4th and goal.
Anyway, Terry, I know you got banged up. I think you broke some ribs or something. How are you doing?
I'm 100% now.
Good to hear, dude.
Good to hear, Terry.
Good to hear.
Good to
Is
hear.
it true what they say about broken ribs? Don't break your ribs.
Oh Lord, I was so. It hurts to clear your throat.
Oh.
I mean, it is painful.
Wow.
And getting out of bed is like something else. So.
Wow. Well, look, we've been recording for it feels like 6 hours now, but I gotta say, we want you as Hawkeye Terry as a regular part, especially over this next month, and so we want to be checking in with you, asking your opinion on Iowa, and between watching the duels, actually, I tell you the honest truth, Terry, after the Angelo interview went so well, Zach, do you feel this too? A lot of my energy, it was like I was pumped up. It went well. I'm happy, and
Well, I didn't realize Penn State was wrestling a high school team.
wow, come on now.
I mean, come on, dude, really. But, kind of hard to get all pumped up with that. But, yeah.
Terry, we got some. I'll be looking forward to Sunday, and we'll be in touch. We'll be checking in with Hawkeye Terry here regularly, and we appreciate the Iowa fans, don't we, Zach?
We love Iowa, and Iowa loves us. And, listen, Terry, we got to get you back on soon. We need more updates. But tomorrow morning, Terry, at noon, actually, I don't know where you live, tune in to USA Takedown Radio, baby.
Oh, that's right.
BEG Wrestling on there live tomorrow.
I saw
Noon
that.
Eastern time.
What time?
Noon Eastern. I'm going crazy.
Noon
on that radio.
Eastern.
No.
Dang, Terry,
I probably got
what's
Scott
so
all nerved
funny,
up.
Terry? He didn't even know what this daggone takedown radio was, and he called him. Can I interview him? And
Been listening to that radio since I was 14 years old.
yeah, no, I've been, yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Terry, good talking.
Ohio
with you,
State
bud.
pick 6 on Texas 4th and goal to tie the game, and Ohio State pick 6'd it.
Wow.
And I am rooting for Ohio State, but I bet Texas to cover. So, daggone.
Terry, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care, guys.
All
Thanks.
All right,
Later.
take care, Terry. All right,
Okay.
I'm out. I'm out of stuff, folks.
I
We
got one last thing.
We're live.
Oh.
You
Nah,
gonna respond
I'm
to
done.
the text message?
I'm
dude?
done. I'm so.
Folks, tomorrow noon Eastern, I'm on Takedown Radio.
All right.
I got a school presentation that I recently did. We're going to be posting here in the next couple days. Angela Ferrari interview coming out.
Like and subscribe.
Matches tomorrow. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
And that's it, folks. This is BEG Wrestling. Thanks for watching.
Bye.